So welcome back everyone to the COVID-19 interview project. My name is Jenny Mills, and here with me today I have Marissa, who will take a moment to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Marissa. I'm a junior in high school and I go to a public school in Bergen County.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today. I just
No.
have a couple of questions. I'm really trying to get an understanding of what's happening with students and K-12 teachers right now
Mhm.
during the COVID-19 the crisis. So the first question is, when you first heard that school was going to be closing, how did you feel?
So when we first found out that we were closing, my principal brought us all into the gym, which probably wasn't the best idea to put us all together, but he told us that we were thinking about doing the virtual learning, and at first all of us were really happy. We're like, oh yes, we'll get off for 2 weeks, but none of us really realized that it was going to go on for this long. So obviously now I kind of miss school and I miss seeing everybody. So I was definitely like excited at first, but I didn't realize that it was going to get um, this bad. So here we are now.
Yeah, here we are now. So you'd say at first, when you first heard you were off for 2 weeks, you guys were kind of excited. And now, as we're entering week 6, how does it feel now?
I feel so bored. I really do. And I miss my teachers, I miss my friends, I miss going out to school and doing stuff. And it kind of sucks being cooped up in your house all the time.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us a little bit about what your new normal day looks like.
So usually I wake up around 7:50, 7:55, 8ish, because that's when I have to log in for school. We have our first period teachers, they sent out a Google form, so we log in there, and usually from 8 to about 12:30 I'm doing schoolwork. We have like a rotating schedule, so depending on what day it is, I'll have, say, like history, English, Spanish, and then like technically in the morning, because those are when my morning classes are, and then right after I would have, say, like my math class, my physics, all that. So usually from then I'm doing schoolwork, and then after I'll eat some lunch. And then I've just been watching movies lately. I try to go out at least a little bit during the week and go out on like a walk or a bike ride with my sister. But for the most part, I've been doing schoolwork. I have my AP tests coming up, so I've been trying to study for that and make some study guides. Um, but yeah, I've honestly been watching a lot of movies too. So
Yeah, I'm sure. So
it's
as a junior in high school, like what does this mean for you regarding your tests and college stuff and sort of where you are in like your education? How is it specifically affecting you as a junior?
I mean, it's been really hard because our AP tests all got switched around. They're now 45 minutes, and they completely cut out all of the multiple choice section, which is kind of annoying because the free response and like the essays, even though they're pretty crucial to like show our knowledge on the subject, the multiple choice can like still kind of can like save us at some points because say they give you like the essay and you don't really know, like you don't really just connect with it and you don't know how to answer it, you still have maybe like the multiple choice to fall back on and try your best. So that's kind of annoying that they completely got rid of that. And it's just a shorter test now, and we've been preparing all year for a longer test, so kind of everything is just being thrown out the window. And then the SATs, they all got canceled, so now I have to wait until August and September to take them, which is when the college application process usually starts. So it's going to be kind of rough. I mean, I took the SAT in November, but I didn't really do that well on it. So um, after like the rest of this year, junior year, I feel like I've learned a lot more. So I want to take it again and do better on it. But just the fact that it's so much later, I was going to take it either in May or June, and now I can't even do that anymore. So we'll see what's gonna
Oh
happen.
my gosh. So everything has completely been turned upside down, and now it's really affecting how you're going to work on your applications for college and taking
Yeah.
your AP tests and things like that. Wow, that's a lot. So, I mean, that directly leads me into how are you managing this? Like your stress levels, how are you staying, just mentally and emotionally okay through all of these changes?
I've been staying in touch with my friends. I've been FaceTiming with them, texting with them. We've all been up to date with each other. Sometimes we'll social distance and walk and go out and talk. And then I've I've kind of been trying to find little like activities to do around the house. So for like a solid 2 weeks, I was painting, which is something new. And then what else? I was making like collages and just making like room decor just to put up. I've also been cleaning my room. This is probably the cleanest my room has ever been, ever. So it's like funny. Sometimes my mom will come in and be like, "Oh, your room looks good." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I had nothing else to do." So I've just been kind of trying to do stuff and maybe sometimes work out. I mean, because the other thing is I'm missing out on sports. So usually
Yeah.
my way to stay in shape, and now I don't have that. So um, I don't know, just trying to find little things to do that I don't normally do, um, and just to relieve my stress. And I don't know, yeah,
Just trying to hang in there.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. When I think about being a junior in high school, it was all about social life. It was like all about being with our friends all the time, being with, my boyfriend all the time. So I can't imagine being a junior and being stuck in my house and told that I can't go to parties and I can't go to my friend's house and I can't, go wherever it is that I needed to go. That's really a lot. So I have to hand it to you guys for keeping it together during this time. Is there anything that your teachers could do to support you a little bit better, or any suggestions that you have for the teachers out there who are wondering, is there anything I can do, or what feedback you have for them?
honestly, what I've noticed is my teachers that do meets with us a lot will do either like the Zooms or sometimes we use Google Meets. I notice when we go on there and they teach us through there, I learn personally a lot better. So I think that all teachers should incorporate um, this style of teaching more because me personally, I'm more of like a visual learner. So just kind of handing me work to do and telling them to teach us ourselves. Um, I don't click with that. I can't do that as well. But I really do enjoy it when we do meets. I have some teachers that do it a lot, and I have some teachers that don't really do it like at all.
Hmm.
So I've just noticed we can then ask questions more, and everyone gets involved. And I also get to see people that I don't normally see. So I definitely think teachers should do this a lot more.
Yeah, so as best as they can, try to get some live
Mhm.
instruction. It's tough. I mean, because the teachers, I'm also interviewing teachers and they're having to learn how to do Zooms and how to
Yeah.
do Google Meets or how to manage the classroom in a completely different setting. So I know that, it's like some teachers are with it and able to do it, and others it's more difficult, or they have so many preps, it's hard to make those online classes happen. But that is good advice. It sounds like a lot of students really benefit from seeing their teachers and seeing one another as well.
Hmm.
Anything that your parents could do to help support you, or other parents out there just to help to support like specifically juniors or seniors in high school during this time?
I think what let me think. My parents really, we've all just been kind of hanging out together a lot more lately. We were doing board games one night. My parents have had a puzzle set up, so we've all just been kind of trying to hang in there together. Especially since now I'm a junior and I've started looking at colleges. My mom has been helping me kind of try and pick and choose what colleges. We're all just trying to kind of go through it together. I think definitely the parents should get involved with their kid and help them out through this time because it is hard and it's hard for us as being young. We're still only teenagers. We definitely need help through this. So definitely parents getting involved with their kids through school, especially younger ones. I think parents helping out with their kids' schoolwork is very necessary. And even just out of school stuff like other activities, doing them all together collectively, I think would really benefit everything.
Would you say that you are talking openly with your parents about what's happening with this virus? Like, what are your thoughts around that? Or have you had conversations with your parents openly about what's happening or what you see in the news or with your teachers and things like that?
Yeah, so my parents typically watch the news almost every night. If not, it's like every other. They definitely watch a couple times a week. And especially when we're having family dinner, we always just get on the topic of it. Even when my mom is on calls for her work, I constantly hear her talking about the quarantine. We're always talking about it, talking about the economy because it's not doing that well right now. We're talking about New York City, especially because we live so close to New York, which is basically the epicenter of this whole thing. So we're all definitely staying up to date. We're being informed about it. My mom reads the uh, she reads a bunch of articles like every day. Even my grandma, she'll send them to me. Everyone, we all are staying up to date on it, and we're all openly talking about it. Definitely.
Do you feel anxious about it? Do you feel worried that you could get sick or someone that you in your family could get sick? Or do you feel pretty confident that you guys are in a good place? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think I'm in a good place. My dad was going to work, but he just claimed unemployment, so he's home now. My mom works from home. She her job, she's essential, but she can work from home still, so she's been home. My sister doesn't really go out that much, and even if we do, we're social distancing, all that. So I
Good.
definitely think we're safe. I have had friends in town um, who have actually had the coronavirus. Like I know of people that have had it in my town, and um, it was a little scary at first when we found out, but it was many weeks ago. They're all fine now. None of us got sick, nothing. So it was a little nerve wracking then, but now after a, a little over a month, like you said, I think it's 6 weeks now. Um, I honestly feel like I'm in a good place. I hope I don't get sick. I don't think I'm gonna get sick now, especially because I think a lot more people are staying inside. Definitely at first when we went into quarantine, people weren't taking it seriously, and there was a bunch of people that I saw going out all the time. But I've been staying home. The only time that I really go out is to go to the food store or go to like Rite Aid in town sometimes just to get some essential items. But other than that, I have felt fine. And even when I do go out, I wear mask, gloves, all that. So hopefully it's
Good.
protecting me.
Yeah, that's great. That's scary though to hear that there's people your age that you know who have had
Mhm.
the virus before. I can imagine that has a little bit of anxiety producing to hear of young people getting it. I mean, what's crazy is that this has never happened before in our lifetimes, mine or yours, and so we're really all just trying to figure this out together. It's definitely going to be something that's going to mark this
Yeah.
time period in history, which
Mhm.
is another reason why I want to do this project, because we're living through a piece of history.
Yeah.
It's really significant. What about, do you have any advice, lastly, for other students who might be at home feeling pretty anxious, pretty sad, pretty depressed about the fact that possibly the rest of their sports and junior year is canceled? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to other students? Because they'll be watching too.
I think definitely just trying to find little things to do around your house, whether it's hanging out with your siblings or watching movies. Definitely don't just sit in your bed and sleep all day because that's what I did at first. And I had really bad sleep schedule. And I just found myself being so tired all the time and not wanting to do anything. But once I started, doing little crafts, and I know that's not for everybody. So even just going outside and I don't know, maybe doing like sports or going on a run, exercising, definitely little stuff like that. Um, it fulfills your day. Or even I know a lot of boys, they like to play video games with their friends. Even though I know a lot of parents, they're always like, "Oh, get off the video games." Like I feel like now I think is it's fine to do that. I find myself playing like Mario Kart with my sister. But just hanging out with your siblings, hanging out with your family, playing games, activities, definitely do stuff like that. And as hard as it is sometimes, definitely wake up early and don't try and get your sleep schedule all out of a lot of sorts, because that's what was affecting me at first, was me staying up really late and getting up really late, because I was just tired and I felt like my whole day was gone. So now I've been trying to go to bed a little earlier, but I have definitely been waking up at an earlier time, and I feel like I'm just getting so much more done throughout the day and I feel a lot more productive. So
That's
I
awesome.
recommend doing that.
That's great. So just having some kind of structure to your day, it sounds like, has been helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and
You're
for sharing your
welcome.
insights with us. I think it's so important to hear from students, especially, students like you who are juniors, who are, gearing up for the AP test that's now totally changed, the SATs. There's all these pieces that really have been thrown out of whack. So thank you so much for sharing your insights with
You're
us.
welcome.
And I will be in touch soon. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.